Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Breaking touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo! Dunbar! Back on top go the Elks!
Man, that intro never fails to get me going.
Fire, fire, fire.
It just pumps me right up.
Ain't no Fire Fest.
Ooh, Elks 101, October 27th. Declan, Eddie, Rick. Almost said Pat. Declan, Eddie, Rick breaking this one down. Recapping the season. Sorry, I'm out of whack. I'm just watching myself on camera. I'm not in. I gotta lock in. Man.
Well, you talking slow to us, Rick?
Dude, totally out of it.
Hey,
it was like I was looking in the mirror or something. Anyway, a lot to break down. Elks postseason media veil I thought was really, really interesting. We got to talk to Cody. We got to talk to Coach Killam. We got to talk to Ed. There were individual player interviews. Dude, I talked to JJ and Cordell, and I had great conversations with both of them. I won't go over anything right now, but I'm going to put it into article form. But just like because you know how high I am on JJ Ross. He just holds himself like such a professional, but also he has kind of like a swagger to him. Same with Cordell. Like Cordell has this kind of swagger to him that I'm just like, man, like these guys get it. Like I want to see these guys in green and gold for the foreseeable future as staples of the defense. Because this is the thing with the defense. You know how like Ed, we'll talk about this later. Ed hates linebackers. Like those boys are a dime a dozen. He don't care about linebackers.
Same with receivers.
The defensive line, there was a lot of guys who got a lot of big money, but I don't look at anyone on that defensive line thinking like this is the staple core piece we're going to build around. Then in the secondary, like Terrell Ford would probably be the guy playing that field side corner who you would maybe think of as a staple. But like to me, it feels like the difference makers are there to be had, and I feel like JJ and Cordell can be those guys moving forward. So just having a chance to talk to them and pick their brains a little bit was really cool. It was a good conversation with them. I got there late, so I missed the Trey Ford media scrum. But from what I heard, he was pretty political and casual about everything. Like he wasn't really talking too much about his future. He was just kind of like he was going at it,
How was, first of all, before we chop it up about the ball, how was the media? It looked like it was pretty thick, that scrum.
It was a good
amount of media down there, huh?
It was definitely a good showing. A lot of faces that hadn't been there, throughout the season. But it's like, I'm not knocking them or anything.
No,
it's good.
Everyone it is. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone was showing out like that, and it was good to see the interest there. And yeah, there were a lot of people. And normally at the post game scrums, there's kind of a select few of us who are always down there. So we've kind of worked out an order amongst ourselves.
You know what you call yourself?
What?
Grinders.
Yes.
The grinders.
Yeah, the Big J journals, man.
Out there grinding, working. You feel me, Rick?
I feel you, buddy.
Dude, that was another thing I realized. Like after the last game of the season, I was like, man, I really do love doing this. Like I'm going to hate not being down here, like talking to coach and talking to the boys after the game. Like I love just getting, the exclusives and just being able to talk to them after the game. But like I was saying, the scrum, it was a little bit more. You had to be quick on your toes to get your questions in. You know what I mean? That said, though, I do want to go over some of the comments they had, some of the comments Cody, Coach, and Ed had with you guys. The first one, I'm just going to go by order of how I, transcribed them and tweeted them. But this was Cody's first quote, because I asked him, I was like, Cody had made allusions. He had said like, listen, I got to talk to my wife and, my kids are back home in the States. And, I haven't talked to Ed yet. I got to have a conversation with him. But I was like, listen, all things being equal, if it's up to you, do you want to be in Edmonton next year? And he said, if I play football next year, it'll be here. And it's interesting, for a couple of reasons, because one, the quarterback pictures are kind of set for 7 of the 9 teams. It feels like you could say 8 of the 9 if you want to throw Edmonton in there. Like Ottawa, I guess, would be the one. Winnipeg as well. Those would be 2 that maybe feel kind of up in the air. But it's not like Cody had some 5,000 yard, 40 touchdown season where he now has his pick of the litter. He had a good season where he turned it around and played well for the Elks. But the best situation he's probably going to be in, where he's going to get, the most leash and have a chance to have like kind of the most rain, is going to be here in Edmonton. So to hear him say like, yeah, if I play football, I want it to be here, which is interesting to me because Cody's 33. He's not young, but he doesn't seem to really be near retirement age. Especially because he just had a season where he also talked about this. He's like, I had to humble myself and take a backup salary. It's like, okay, now you're likely going to be in position to command starter salary. like the coach wants you here. The GM was a little less committal on it, but it seems like, you're wanted here. What's the issue? So I'm wondering if Cody's just going out at this as a negotiating ploy. Like he's like, listen, if you don't pay me, I'm going to retire. But it seems like, and I expect him to be back next year. It seems like he wants to be here. Like I couldn't see, I guess I'll finish with this before I throw it to you guys. Like I couldn't see Cody retiring and not coming back as quarterback next year.
Yeah, I would agree with that for the most part. I think Cody will be back next year. Yeah, he's young. He doesn't, young, but shoot, I was out of ball at his age. So I get it. Like with a young family and stuff, there is a life outside of football that matters more than football, believe it or not. It's hard to see it when you're in it, but when you're on the other side of it, and Cody does have a good perspective of life, I think he realizes, what family it means to him, and
big family,
how football is. Big F family, man, huh, Deck?
Oh yeah.
But football is, lower on the totem pole for him. It's not his end all be all, and he's made that clear throughout his career.
He's a little Russell Wilson-y. He got, faith family football.
Totally, man.
Yeah,
Totally.
He wears that on his sleeve.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I align with that too. So
me too.
I'm good with that.
100%.
Yeah, in terms of the QB position next year, just in general. How do you boys, and let me ask you this question, how do you feel if it is Cody Fajardo rolling into the camp next year as your number one? What is the confidence level overall for the season?
Listen, my confidence level overall, I would say I would be managing my expectations personally. Like I like Cody. I think Cody, we've talked about this, I don't know how many times. Like I think Cody was a big reason this team turned things around and started winning. I do not think Cody is a quarterback where he is going to go put the entire team on his back, a la Nathan Rourke in BC, a la a Bo Levi Mitchell in Hamilton.
Alexander style.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he's going to be a guy who's going to just wake up and have 4,500 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions and I think he is going to be a guy who is going to be consistent. He is going to play within the game plan, which is another thing we can talk about. I think right now he would be better than a lot of alternatives. Cause I look at the lay of the land. And we'll talk about him later. I probably don't want Trey Ford as my starting quarterback next year.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. Trey Ford is.
He's
not even in the.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. It's not. We don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's not.
But I look at I probably don't want And you've made the point that, Ed has a really good eye for these things and he's going to go and find someone. Like I probably don't want someone who doesn't have CFL experience. Like I look at I don't want, Crum. I don't want, Brown. I don't want when I look at the options that are there, I would rather have Cody. That said, I think you need to manage your expectations because I don't think he's going to be a guy who just comes in and you're immediately a 15-3 team.
It's interesting. I took a look at Cody's career numbers again just recently.
Don't blow your hair back.
No, because we talked about it here a couple of weeks back, and it's wow. Yeah, don't blow your hair.
Not a stats guy.
If I had hair, it would not be blown back, buddy. Let's just say that.
Rick, man, where do you come out? Like, are you in the camp of let's bring Cody back?
I'm in a camp where he's probably going to be back. But I'm going to base my feelings on our quarterback situation on who else is involved. He's a decent game manager. I think if he comes in here next year, we're definitely a playoff team, but that's not the ultimate future. I don't think the backup is actually in the league right now. I think that's on Ed to go find somebody. And if that means it's Cody and new person that we don't know their name right now, cool. And maybe that's new person we don't know their name and Cody. I don't really know. I would probably have Cody a part of the organization because we know what we have. And if he was the guy in number one, you're going to make the playoffs. But I think we also need to look further down the line. This team really deserves a number one quarterback. And I do believe Ed will go out there and look. And I do not think that person plays in the CFL right now.
I like that answer. Here's
my other thing with that. And Cole might honestly be the number 2 next year, as crazy as it sounds.
But did they give him any snaps the other night?
No, they absolutely did not.
If he was going to be number 2, if he was going to be the guy next year, I think you would have said, all right, let's see what you got.
Yeah, is the belief in him there.
My computer just they didn't give anyone snaps in that game outside of Cody, which I thought was kind of crazy.
That tells you everything, I think.
But I don't think it was they didn't go into that game trying to evaluate talent. Like you could make the argument they should have. but they just didn't. Like Isaiah Knight, I guess, he got 2 reps.
He got 2 reps
at running back.
2 touches.
Like there was no one.
No,
obviously,
I thought there would be a little bit more. The only evaluation they got is due to injury.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and it didn't work out. Like it's like, oh, sick. Jarrell Cummings is in. He got burnt every time he was on the field. But this is like Cody saying this is the other thing. Sorry, I wanted to say about your point, Rick. I don't think I think Cody is good enough to get you to the playoffs, and that's kind of what you need right now. Like you are one of the preeminent franchises in the CFL, and you haven't. Not only have you not made the playoffs since 2018, you haven't made the playoffs or 2019. You haven't made the playoffs. You haven't made the playoffs in the West since 2017, and you haven't had a winning season since 2018. Like these are all things that you can't really just be going hunting for someone, hoping it works out and hoping it's a home run. Like you need playoff. You have to make playoffs. Like if it's great to go out and hunt for a quarterback who's the home run quarterback, who's the quarterback of the future. They tried to do that with Trey Ford, but you can't afford to not have that work out again. Like you have to be a playoff.
Can't
team.
swing and miss.
And I think that's why Cody's going to be on the roster, because either way, whether he be number 1 or number 2, you have him there. And if he's your number 2, you feel pretty good about it. You just might pull the trigger a little bit quicker than you did this year.
And like I've said about Cody, look, he is the best insurance policy in the CFL.
Yep.
He is the absolute best. And he proved it this year. He proved why he is such a good insurance policy that you can cash when needed. But do you ride with that and do you hang your hat on that for an entire season? I just don't know.
And I don't think Ed's going to sit on his hands. I think he'll go out and find somebody that he knows what he needs to do. He knows what this organization needs. And that is that quarterback's. He'll go figure something out. We're definitely not rolling in with 3 of the guys we have right now. Like the only guy I see coming back would be Cody if he wants. And after that, it's going to be all brand new faces.
I think Cole could be back. Now he would be back
competing.
He would be back. He would be back.
He'll be in camp competing.
And if he, and to you guys' point, to you guys' credit, if he is back, he's going to be back as the 3rd string short yardage quarterback. But I don't know. They seem to like him in the locker.
It depends on how he competes at camp.
Yeah,
it's all about camp.
That's fair. Let me ask you guys this one last one on Cody here before we kind of move on to some of Coach Killam and Ed's comments. Like, because this one he said he was asked about, or he said, I would love nothing more than to wear the green and gold again and take this team that hasn't been to the playoffs as starting quarterback. I just don't know at this moment in time. Looking at it, from 1,000 yards out, do you guys feel like he's truly contemplating retirement, or do you guys think this is just him saying, yeah, pay me starting quarterback money?
No, that's the latter.
Okay.
And he's just doing right by his wife too.
Yeah.
By saying these things that he wants to discuss that. Because again, that's a priority, right? And he has a totem pole of priorities. So hey, I get it. I get why he says it. Especially being a married man of 10 years. Yep. I get why he said it.
Dude, the other thing about Cody that I love is Cody's never met a question that he didn't have a long form answer to.
He likes to let it go.
Bro, you ask him like, what color jersey are you wearing, man? 5-minute answer. Like I love it. Like it's awesome. And he's great. And he's very well media trained. And a lot of that probably came from playing, at University of Nevada. Yeah.
Just
like
being the starting QB, you got to be a certain way.
100%, but he does it well. It's always like he always like
plays the role.
Yeah. Because sometimes there were games, man. After losses, you would know you were going to talk to Coach Killam for like a minute 10 total.
In and out.
Cody was always going to come and give you like a minute and a half answer minimum for like just the most basic question, which I always appreciated. Speaking of Coach Killam, he had this one on how he assessed his first season. He said, "I'm proud of the growth of the team. We fell short of our goal. We missed the playoffs. We're a sub 500 team. We're going to evaluate everything to try and accomplish that being the team goals next season." Obviously, that kind of goes without saying, that second part. But when he talks about the growth of the team, again, like it's a very football coach answer. It's a very political answer, especially for a team that misses the playoffs. Like that's going to be one of the first things you say. Like the guys competed, the guys worked hard, we grew as a team. I do think though, despite it being very cliche, very political, like the team I thought did grow. And the back half of the season, which he talked about, he said, we found our identity. The back half of the season showed that guys bought in and we believed in each other. I do think that was evident for how the Elks played in that second half and last third of the season.
By team, yes, team, but more specifically units. the defense grew as a unit.
Yep, definitely.
The offense didn't grow. If the offense didn't have Justin Rankin, they would be stinky poo disgusting. Like there's no denying it. If Justin Rankin didn't have big games and big plays sporadically, this offense would suck. They would suck. They proved they suck because they were the worst in the league this year. They were the worst passing offense this year. It's very interesting. I put this tweet out.
You did.
Last year, 7-11 was their overall record, and they had the number one offense under Jarius Jackson.
Yep.
7-11. And just remember the feeling of the turmoil, how bad it seemed around this franchise. Well, this year they were the same record, 7-11, except their offense was the worst in the league with the worst passing. Sure, some of that can be attributed to Trey early, but Cody started the majority of the season. So you would think if Cody was the savior that people, hope and claim him to be, that those numbers would have been pulled up a bit. Trey didn't put him in the dumpster fire that far after 4 games.
McLeod had big numbers last year when we were losing all the time at the beginning of the year.
He did put up,
He put up big numbers.
He did steal some passing yards late.
Yeah.
But I just look at this offense and I just think, man, in the defense, they provided up many turnovers here in the last third of the season, but they provided a lot of turnovers.
Yep.
Like they were getting after it. And the offense just never capitalized. And the offense was crippling for this team this season, all year. This offense, if it wasn't ranking, it was nothing.
Yeah, they were in terms of yards, they were last in net offense. These are some of Edmonton's offensive statistics. They were second last in points for. They were last in net offense. They were second last in passing yards per game. And then they're one kind of saving grace, I guess, if you will. They were fifth in rushing. Yeah.
Yeah. I look at just yards and points and you're the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, just really quickly, Toronto, worst rushing team in the CFL. They averaged 51 yards a game. Like that's
bad.
Shocking.
It's really bad. That's really
it's
almost hard to do.
That's all I was just going to say. That's almost hard to do. That's crazy.
I wonder if they had any 100-yard games. Because if they did, then you have to have the opposite to bring it back to the average.
Yeah, you gotta have 0 yards.
Right?
Exactly,
if you have 100, you have one game where you run for 101.
Yeah.
What the hell were the other ones?
Bro, it's like that Colorado and Utah were playing on Saturday, college football game. Colorado had minus 18 yards at half, and it was like minus 41 rushing yards at half.
Terrible.
Like that is
terrible.
Unbelievably
So I don't
impressive.
want to be a negative Nelly. I really don't, but the numbers are the numbers. Your record is your record.
Yep.
And in my opinion, and the opinion of other, people that I respect, in just the eye test of someone who's been a pro football player, this offense didn't hold up their end of the bargain. They didn't.
No, not even close. And if it outside of Justin Rankin, like you had guys, like I think of Curly again specifically, like Curly, you cannot get that price tag and not even have 800 yards receiving. I get that things at the quarterback position were fluid. Maybe you felt like the OC wasn't, benefiting you. But dude, earlier in the season, like we were talking about him just looking disinterested in routes he was running.
Yeah.
So
He was. All their big signings and proclamations, especially with Trey Ford being named the guy, they were all swing and misses. Serezna, Robbie Smith.
I asked
Dang,
Ed about
Curly.
those guys as well. We'll get into that.
They're all swing and misses this year, unfortunately. But that's what it is.
One last one from Coach Killam before we get to some of Ed's quotes.
Not Tyrell.
Tyrell was
He was A+.
Yeah. Coach Killam said, I think we established who we want to be. I think the foundation is in place. Again, I agree with that. But the foundation doesn't really mean anything if you don't, take those next steps. And this is one I didn't get to ask Coach Killam. I wanted to, I should have, but there's kind of like a saying with coaching, like it's not if you get fired, it's when. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously not true in every case. You do have some guys who are, tenured for majority of their career until they retire, but it's pretty rare. Like it's not if, it's when. And for Coach Killam, like that, you were never going to get fired after 1 year. That wasn't going to happen. But you're also the head coach of one of the preeminent franchises, like I mentioned, haven't made the playoffs in 5 seasons. Like you can't, I don't think you can really have a season like this again. Like this was your mulligan. It has to be, you have to be over 500 and you have to be in the playoffs moving forward. I don't think there's a leash for him for there not to be. So that foundation being in place is great, but like the results have to come with
They have
it.
to follow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, well said, Deck.
Okay, so this one was Ed on the future of Trey Ford. This was one of the earlier ones he was asked. He said, that's going to be a big discussion for us. We really have to evaluate if the fit is right for him here or maybe a fresh start for him is big. I'm just wondering, like, what's the discussion? Is he super not a fit or just really not a fit? Like, do we super not want him in the
Cody
building?
said that about him.
And Cody has been, he's been pretty, again, political about it, but he's been pretty quick to say, like, I'm Trey Ford's biggest fan. Like, me and Trey have had great conversations. Like, when I came here, I wanted to, just be a guy who could, and I do believe, Cody was saying, like, I do believe he meant all that. But some of Cody's comments being like, yeah, it's probably time for a fresh start. Ed saying, like, I don't think there's anyone in ElksNation who thinks Trey is going to be back. And this is my thing. Like, Ed, what's the big discussion, my brother? Is the discussion how bad he is? Like,
That's just because he didn't want to say he's gone. Right? You can't say that at that point. You leave it open. You give him that little answer that's really not one way or the other, but it is sort of one way. And then it'll come down. The hammer will come down eventually, but there's zero chance it's coming. Unless he's willing to take like a quarter of what he's making right now or something silly.
Even at that, around the league, like you listen to a guy like Farhan talk, there's not a huge appetite for him.
Yes.
Like around the league. People see what he is, kind of what I've been saying for 3 years. Like he just not really yet. And other franchises feel the same way, I believe. So we look at this now. This is two different management groups,
coaching staffs
that he's ran through essentially that are kind of like, now we're good.
And here's the other thing, like this,
one of them drafted him high.
Yes, one of them drafted him first overall. And then this one, like Max Simic, early in the season, you could tell it really built the game plan around his skill set, and it still didn't work out. So now I don't want to do this one. Do we like, hey, maybe it's time for a position change?
Where would you put him?
He's not about it. He's not a receiver just because he's got some wheels. He's gonna be 28 years old next year.
Never played the position. Learn a whole new position.
He doesn't really got the receiver bod, if you feel me.
He could be a gunner on special teams.
Man, and he's so successful outside of football. Like,
yeah, he is.
The thing is, he's not the most successful on the field. And I think we all can agree to that.
Yep.
But off the field, man, for a 27-year-old, he set himself up right. Flipped a few houses.
He absolutely has.
It's making big moves.
And dude, he has a great head on his shoulders. Yeah. Like really, like he understands everything, and he's not mopey about it. Like he's a pro and he understands things. Like I give him a lot of credit, man. He always took everything on the chin, and this as well. Like he knows, but he handles it well. Ed also said, listen, I feel very good about the direction we're headed. There's a plan. The things we want our fans and players associated. That's the thing we want our fans and our players associated with us to know. This is kind of what I was talking about with Coach Killam, talking about the foundation in place. Like it's great to have a plan. It's great for the fans and the players, coming to play with you that are on this roster that are going to be coming back to know that there's a plan. But like that doesn't mean anything without the results.
Oh.
Like the results have to be there.
Has to match.
Right?
And we had Chris Morris on the Kevin Carrier show this morning on Sports 1440, and he said the same thing. And I've always wondered this because I walk around like a meathead saying it's all about winning. It's all about winning. And Chris pretty much confirmed what I said. It's a 3-pronged approach to get your money.
Yep.
And that's merchandise, ticketing, and I'm having a brain fart, but I forget the third.
TV rights?
No. It's your tickets, your merchandise, and
concession.
Yeah, I forget. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, and he went on to say that, getting people there and having them walk away with that experience is big, but the winning experience is everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the winning experience. That's what is going to get people back to want to get to a playoff game, to go and cheer on a team that is semi-competitive. So the wins are everything.
Yep.
The wins are everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Like and I do think they have a plan. And I do think like Ed is, he's a football mind, been around the game forever. Like he does absolutely have an idea of where he wants things to go. I'm sure he has the coaching staff bought in, the players bought in, but it's a lot hard. Like you can pitch that to the coaching staff and to the players and, being football guys, like they're going to understand it and they're going to see like the long-term vision. Fans don't always, but fans understand winning on the field. Now, to their credit, they also understand good game day experiences, but they understand the winning on the field. Like that's what it's about for them. So
That's the core of it.
I thought this quote from Ed was pretty interesting. I thought this was kind of telling. He said, "Of course, we'd love to have Cody back, but the roster still has work to do. We still have areas that we need to address. We would love for Cody to be a part of that, but not at the sacrifice of continuing to build the roster." Where do you guys kind of come out on that quote? Because like I said, Cody had said, yep, if I play football again, I want it to be here in Edmonton. Coach Killam had said, if I want Cody under center, I resonate with him as a player. Ed kind of comes out a little bit different. Like he says, we have areas we need to address. We want Cody to be a part of that, but not at the sacrifice of continuing to build the roster.
Crazy.
Where do you guys come out on that one? Because you guys are both kind of in the camp of
That's Ed saying we need to get that number one quarterback.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible.
We want Cody, but Cody's coming for cheap.
Yeah.
Cody's coming back. He's coming.
And
for
Cody
cheap.
doesn't want to come back for cheap.
Yeah.
Cody wants to come back for $400K.
Yeah. If Cody's coming back, he's coming for the cheap. And I know we're pro Elks, but I wouldn't pay Cody $400.
This is off-season stuff. This is what every team goes through in every league.
This is off. Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't pay Cody $400.
This is my thing. Do I want to pay Cody $400,000? Probably not. But you can't afford to have another swing and miss at quarterback. If you feel Cody is good enough to get
what
you.
if you offer Cody 300 and then 20 to 50 in incentives? But who else around the league is going to be offering Cody 300? That's the thing. Cody's going to have to weigh.
Yeah,
so
I bet.
You got to do the business and hamstring a guy.
I bet Winnipeg would offer him 300.
And I was going to say, because you said it too, like almost every team has their quarterback situation taken care of, which means there's not a lot of buyers out there willing to throw the big money at them.
Yeah.
But I guess
I could see Winnipeg though.
Yeah, well, right. Similar kind of style to Caleros, better than Caleros now, obviously. And then the other thing is, like, if Cody really does mean what he says and doesn't get the contract he wants and just says, okay, I'll retire. Like, if that's real, that pitching hole, that like the Elks
holds you.
Yeah, it puts them in a bit of a tough spot as well.
Yeah.
But I think Ed's also a guy who has confidence in himself to go out and find talent that's not in the CFL. And he's sitting there going, now it's up to me. Cool. I want to have the job. That's why I took the job in the first place. Put it on me. I'll go figure it out. Cody, here's this. We'll offer you this. Take it or leave it. But on top of that, I have from today till May or April to find somebody. I'm very confident in myself to find. I've done it before. I'll do it again. And he'll go out there and do it. So that's Ed also saying, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I can go find us somebody too.
I definitely agree with that. I think Ed has the belief in himself. Like, I have the belief in Ed that he can go out there and talent scout. I mean, I wouldn't say the scouting was the best paying, that 4 starters on the defensive line, about $1 million to have no one have over 4 sacks this season. But
bang, bang,
my
bang,
point,
bang.
like, and listen, I think Ed could do that. I think Ed believes it. But if he goes out there and gets someone and he plays terrible, and this is a 5-13 team next year, the walls are going to cave in. Like, people are going to be saying, why didn't we just pay Cody?
Sure.
Cody could have got us to the playoffs.
Hey,
and again,
bring Cody back, but insurance policy, he is the best going.
That's the job of a GM, though. That's the job of the GM.
You got to negotiate that. I'm not saying don't bring Cody back. Have Cody on the roster. You're going to need Cody.
Mm-hmm.
It's the CFL in pro football. Even in the NFL, there is, through whatever weeks it's been, 8 weeks, I heard a record 13 backups have started games already. Like, you need backups in football. It seems like more than ever too.
Yeah.
You need to have that depth at the position. So you need a Cody Fajardo. You just can't do it at $400K.
You have to be 45 deep. You got to be you should be 53 deep, like an NFL roster, like 45 for 12 starters on each side is like, it's thin.
With the special teams in the wide field, and the pace. And, it's real out there.
Give me a roster spot. I'll go play. Me, Rick, and we'll go play. Okay. This is one talking about the defensive line. He said, I still believe in all those guys. What they didn't do statistically on the field, you'd be surprised at the things they did inside the building. So I kind of heard that and I was like, hey man, I'm happy we got great locker room guys, with a $6 million salary cap and $1 million tied up in 4 players on the defensive line, I don't want them being buddy with everyone. Hey, that's awesome, man.
It's more than just being good guys.
How about let's play to our price tag on the field?
Produce. Ed knows that, man. The business is about producing. If Ed believed it's all about good guys, he wouldn't have cut me the way he did because I was a good guy, but I didn't produce. So what he says is bullshit.
So here of those 4 guys, how many of them come back?
Well, 2 of them would be gone.
Brinkman will come back
Brinkman
for sure.
Would be the most solid guy.
Brinkman was the best out of that group for sure.
He's the best out of that core. Serezna coming off the injury, age. He's been injured a few times now.
I'd put my money on he's back.
I could see he's back, but cheap.
Yes.
Interesting.
And you know some behind the scenes things.
I'd put my money on he's back.
I could see him being back for super cheap though.
So I think he had
big pay cut.
it's a 2 year anyways. I think he has the contract for next year anyways.
The thing about the CFL though.
Yeah, you can like renegotiate and whatnot.
They'll come to you with a gun and be like, take it or leave it, or essentially take this or we're cutting you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they negotiate.
Yeah.
Especially at that tag.
Yeah, you know what? There's a couple injuries out there that are kind of bad luck. Obviously, they were not getting it done before the injuries, but I think Jake was fighting a knee injury the whole year. And then eventually, like it would
he went
pop
down
out
twice with it, remember?
Yeah, it would pop out and he was like, whatever.
What was it, meniscus?
Actually, I'm not 100% sure.
Dude, that first injury, I thought he was done for the season. I was like, how could he?
And at that point, it was just popping out.
Yeah, that'd be meniscus because mine would pop out like that, and then you'd have to like wiggle it back in.
Yeah. But he's walking, he's moving around again.
Good.
Right. He's starting to strengthen it up.
Rick, would you have him back at $200K?
You know what? I don't think I'd be too worried about his price tag because I don't think you're bringing a lot of guys on defense right now. I think your defense is pretty well set. Right. So you don't really need that extra money right now. You are going to be dropping Ford as your quarterback. That's going to open up some money. Mm-hmm. I think there's probably some areas where you can find extra money without having to drop those guys yet. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think the majority of them will be back. I think Ed really believes in them. And yeah, I do. I think they're at least Jake. I think he's a leader of that whole organization.
Yeah, he is.
And I think they'll definitely give him one more go for sure. I'd be very surprised if he's not back.
Yeah, he is a face in a sense.
I'm just trying to find this is the other thing I hate. Like CFL contracts, bro. You got to go to the dark web to find these guys' contracts.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying, man. Even just to find simple game stats, you got to go there.
Oh, bro, you got
crazy.
And I think you'll see
download a VPN, bro.
You'll see Kenny back this year too.
Kenny?
You'll see Kenny back this year.
Kenny Logan?
Logan, yeah.
He getting paid? Did Rick a spoiler alert?
I think you'll see Kenny back this year.
Are we breaking news here on Elks on One Deck?
Dude, I would imagine Kenny was like one of their best players, bro.
Defensive player of the year for them.
Funny you guys mentioned Kenny because I asked Ed, I was like, listen, every time you sign a player, like you have belief in them. You don't sign someone thinking it's a bad signing. But that said, was there a guy who was kind of a diamond in the rough signing for you? A guy who maybe got signed without a lot of fanfare, started as a P squad player who a lot of people didn't know about, but you knew like once he got his chance, he was going to pop. And Ed said, Kenny Logan. He said in camp, he was always on the bubble, but it was his versatility and the person he is that saved him at times. Then he went on to say he could have been our Rookie of the Year nominee. He also mentioned Brock Mogensen as another one of those diamond in the rough signings. But yeah, dude, Kenny was phenomenal for this team. And I got to imagine like those end of season player interviews, those player meetings with the GM, like I got to imagine Kenny's went really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he had a great season.
For sure he did. Yeah, player of the year for the team. Pretty awesome season. Versatile.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I think this defense is relatively set up for next year. Whether guys some injuries come back, some guys they're going to be cheap. Like a guy like Kenny can't be that expensive, right?
Yeah, I was going to say
roster, one good season,
2 years. If he extends 2 years, 120 to 130 per year, right in there.
I'd be happy with that.
130.
If I'm Kenny, knowing how much Ed hates linebackers, I'm like, get me away from the Sam, bro. Let me play safety.
Or just keep making plays.
Yeah. He's just a football player, man.
Keep making plays.
What do you have? Two sacks that game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost a pick.
6 tackles.
Birthday games.
Ball trades. Okay. Boy, Rick
over
here.
There we go.
Rick. Intel.
Ed was asked about Coach Killam. He said, listen, like the players play hard for him. You see he's passionate. Those are the things he brings to the table. I think he's done an excellent job. That's what he said. That was one of the big takeaways. I think he's done an excellent job. I have a notebook full of notes from players that have glowing reviews on him. So, I mean, seems like I didn't think anyone thought the relationship was bad between Ed and Coach Killam. I didn't think anyone thought Coach Killam was going anywhere, but hearing this kind of seems to, solidify it a little bit.
It's solid.
Yeah, I don't think you drop a coach like that after 1 year.
No, never.
He's got some time here.
Not with how things have gone with this organization. That's
The
not
last thing you want to do is get a new coach in here. Like that's what we've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. Right?
I heard the behind the scenes word that like Killam had quite a long leash when this hiring process was made.
Yeah.
Quite a long leash. There's a big mess they had to clean up, man.
Yeah. And Chris Morris, like he was on
it real with you. Like he'll tell you about the mess.
Oh yeah. And he was on Jason's show and he said, listen, like no one in this coaching staff's going anywhere. Like Ed's not going anywhere. We're going to figure this thing out. Yeah. And I believe he means that.
Totally.
I asked Ed about on the future of Niles. Cause I kind of said, listen, man, like Brock was playing the MAC and Coach Killam's really high on Brock. He had also mentioned Brock as a guy who could have been the Rookie of the Year nominee. Joel plays the will and had led the team in tackles, not having started the whole season. Like he had a lot of success at the will. Nick can kind of play both. What does that mean for Niles? And he said, he said, I wish we had the video of him saying it. Cause he said, well, I guess we will see, but he said it, bro. Like the way he said it, you could tell he's gone, man. And then cause immediately after that, he goes on to say, you guys know how I feel about linebackers. You can replace them. And then finishes on top of that. He says, we have to evaluate our roster to how we can get better. Is there a place for all four being Brock, Joel, Nick, and Niles to be on the team? I'm sure there possibly could be at the expense of getting better. I can't see that. So you got to think.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Wow. Edmund savagery. That's what I'm used to.
And I think Niles,
I'm used to.
I think Niles knew a little bit, like his body language. I think just seeing him, down at practices and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, I think the other question that what kind of gets in, because I think you guys would agree, right? Like Niles will not be returning.
100%.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if he's back.
But now what the question,
unless he's back for like 50,
cheap,
like 75K, whatever league minimum is.
And he's because Niles is only 29, I think, right? Might have just turned 30.
He'll go somewhere. I bet he'll go out east somewhere.
Yeah, dude, can you just picture him in a Hamilton Tiger Cats jersey?
Yeah, I can picture him out east.
But what a second kind of interesting part of this, man, is what's the future look like for Nick?
Competition.
Yeah, it is like
competition in special teams.
Think about it. Like earlier in the season, we were talking about how you could pencil him in as the defensive player of the game each game. And he's always flying around, making tackles. He's always playing hard. And that's all true. But all of a sudden with the way, like, listen, I still think Nick is better than Brock at the MAC.
Yep.
And I still think I think he's a better pure football player than Joel, but like, it's a real, cause none of those three guys can play the Sam.
No,
that it becomes a real, competition and conversation. Like, what are we gonna do here?
That's fine. You can have those three guys on the roster and you can rotate them in and have them play specials. And like, there's ways to do it.
Yep.
But in terms of, if we're just looking at the two starters, it's going to be competition, man.
Good. You want competition.
I was going to say, there ain't nothing wrong with that, baby.
What's it like to play for a GM who's like, you're to a GM who's like, your position group is replaceable.
Yeah.
Like, what's that like? Like, that's gotta be.
It's funny because Ed is, the way he talks about linebackers that way is exact the same way he talks about receivers.
Yep.
And it's odd because he played receiver.
Yes.
But he looks at receivers as like, oh man, I'll find, which is the truth.
Yep.
I'll find 1 million receivers down in the state.
Is there a position group he likes?
Lineman. He loves linemen.
Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, without being biased, he loves linemen.
Yeah.
Because he knows the game is
football.
Truly
That's
won or lost
in the trenches.
Yes. It truly is.
Yes.
And he loves linemen. He'll pay O linemen. He'll pay D linemen. We've seen it.
He just
We've
did.
seen it.
Well, funny considering also like that kind of seems to be his bread and butter, and the offensive line was so bad this year.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the defensive line was like
Part of that was that telegraphed ass play call, and they'll line up a guard as your fullback and ding, 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 run 100% of the time.
Outside of the guy that he brought in mid-season, weren't everyone else here already? So it's really not his offensive line.
Signed
No?
Beardo, or Beardo got traded mid-season last year? Late season last year?
He didn't have too much impact on that. But that brings up the question I was going to ask you guys. Like when you look at that offensive line, like Boyko, McKellar, Ivy could all be.
Those three are in for some more competition at their positions.
Oh, dude, I think Brett and Krueger are off the roster.
Carter O'Donnell has secured up the right guard.
I don't know.
Corty's in for some comp too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
dude,
this extended too.
I don't, the only one I think is like safe that I can say like, yep, you're good is Carter O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I'd
say Beardo too.
Maybe just because it's the center position. Like David, I don't think David Beard was like somehow.
He wasn't phenomenal, no. But I'd say you're secure with him. Solid vet. He's just bigger body.
He's athletic for the center.
He's athletic.
Yeah.
And don't forget, he's an Ed Hervey draft pick dating way back to 15. So there's some love there.
I don't think you want to bring too many new guys in too. So I think Tez is probably pretty safe as well at the left tackle.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Martez
bring in some competition. I mean, if Ed likes linemen, Ed's going to bring in players. I bet you there's going to be a whole lot of new faces.
I didn't love his game. I didn't love his game throughout especially second half of the year.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
He's a guy we're supposed to think is good, but you watch him and you're like,
yeah.
It's funny because Ed also, he said like, listen, he's like, we're not going to overhaul the roster. We're going to tweak it. We want to bring in, some competition. We want to bring in some veteran guys to be that presence for the young guys. And I get that because I do think like a lot of the foundational pieces are there and are kind of young guys. So I get where he's coming from, but like, I'm not overhauling this roster either. But position groups as a whole, there are some I would do more than tweak. And like offensive line for me is one of them. So I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, man. It's going to be quite an off-season deck.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite an off-season, man. I can't wait to chop it up about everything.
No, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get into everything and just see how kind of the chips fall. I know you got to get out of here like right away, pretty much. So just one real quick one, and maybe we might do another episode later in this week and kind of go over. I want to go over the team nominees as well, and
Absolutely.
Just have a chance to talk about them because we haven't had a chance to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got to cut this one slightly.
Yeah, and talk about. I had like I said, good conversations with Cordell and JJ. Maybe relay those to you guys after I get the articles out, but. What's trash bag day like?
Sorry, go back. Cordell was the nominee, right?
For defensive player of the year.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
You got to stop me. Earlier I said Logan.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
No. Cordell was
earlier I said Logan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cordell was defensive player of the year.
I just caught
nominee.
myself when you said that. Yeah.
No, yeah. Cordell was defensive player of the year nominee. Chalen was a rookie. Because JJ played one game last year that I didn't even know existed. Joel was Canadian.
Yeah.
Beardo was O-line. Yeah. Javon special teams. Justin was MOP. Those two obvious. But what's trash bag day like? Real quick.
Depends, man. Depends on the team. Some teams it's like, man, guys are smashing beers in the locker room, having fun, passing the bottle around. And other teams, it's like you're in and out like really quick.
Yeah.
And just say bye to the guys and just like that, another off season. So I've had both. I prefer the first.
The first was definitely how it went this year.
Yeah. You just sitting around drinking, telling stories, and then making a plan, go eat supper together, go out for the night, probably end up at a place like Rick's.
Yeah. That's how I'm going to guess how Saturday night went.
Yeah.
What percentage of guys go home in the off season? First, just like build an off season in Edmonton.
Man, the majority, like 95%. There's a small few. It'll be like a handful, Deck. A handful that'll stay. Like maybe 5 to 10 out of a roster of 60 plus.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got to get going, right?
Got to go get the kids, man. Get the kids. So we'll
shout out
later in the week.
You guys got any? Sorry.
So we'll get back to it.
100%. I'm excited. I'm excited to break down the player nominees and talk a little CFL playoffs.
What?
Pardon?
You were going to say something? Do we have any?
Yeah. You guys have any final thoughts on this one before we get out of here?
Well, as a whole for the season, I mean, the foundation off the field, they did really good things, really strong things, reestablishing business relationships with the community. I think they did some cool things, even in game type atmosphere things and different events. And cool things for the fans, but on the field, hey, there was no difference statistically, record wise from last year. So they're kind of in the same, stratosphere. There are some areas of optimism, but we're keeping it real. There needs to be some major improvement, especially offensively from this club. But as a whole, I'm excited and positive, looking forward to the future.
Rick?
Yeah, no, I definitely the same record as last year, but I think there's a little more positivity in the feeling of how this season ended and what we have going forward. So honestly, I'm excited to see what happens in the off season, and let's get back to training camp.
All right, dope. Well,
hold on. You?
Yeah, it's weird, man, because like it felt last year like they won a bunch of games at the end of the season with Trey, and it kind of felt like things were picking up, and then they didn't have the start with Trey, and Cody kind of rebounded and brought them back to winning football. And it felt like it was kind of honestly a similar story like to this year and last year. Like it was a bad start, stronger finish, and things kind of felt like they were looking up. The one thing I will say though is like you knew the old regime was going to be out of there last year. This year, it's here to stay, and I think that brings you a lot of positivity.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm looking. 12-6, and hosting the West Semi next year. JJ Ross, Defensive Player of the Year, my guy. Sign me up, my guy. All right, cool. Talk to you guys later. Elks 101. Love you guys.